Clayton Oliver, speaking of bargains, he could be a discount pickup. In fact, he will be for the Giants. No official trade request yet. We know he's weighing up between the Giants and Collingwood. Almost certainly this will be GWS, could come in as early as tomorrow. But when you think of this deal, what's the deal for Clayton Oliver going to be? Well, I can tell you it could be for as little as a future third-round draft pick. So we know Clayton Oliver's one of the best midfielders in the competition, 21, 22. Clearly, he's not the player that he was, but this is a free hit for a future third-round pick, and considering the Demons are going to pick up as much as half of his salary, so if this is pick 50, pick 55, I mean, this is a free swing at the stumps.
I think this could be the biggest bargain in the next 10 of the last 10 years. Like, to be fair, like a huge contract, they wear half, and the Giants wear half. I still think the fire's burning in his belly, but I think his motivation and his, what would you say? At Melbourne, it just, he's expired his,
it was time to go, wasn't it?
It was time to go.
Absolutely.
Like, I just think a new start. We've seen so many players move clubs and be able to impact. I think what the Giants have done with, second players coming from their, another club, Stringer. I think it's been huge. Yeah. Stringer, the list goes on.
And if you're a Melbourne supporter, you're sitting back thinking, why didn't we take, the Adelaide offer a couple of years ago? Why didn't we take the Geelong offer? You're thinking, why did we wait this long? Just might be an interesting one when we talk about Zach Merritt later on as well.
It's a good little fire starter for him if he's lacking motivation for a club that's effectively just kicked him out of the club. But the way they've sort of gone about it, yes, they respect him. He's a champion of the football club, but they're going to pay a lot of his money for him to play elsewhere. That would have been a pretty bitter pill to swallow. It seems like he's taken it a bit personally as well.
Well, I think he has, yeah. He's thrown the toys out of the cot, which I would have as well, to be fair.
Can't imagine you doing that.
No. I've got a little streak and a wire. But I'm thinking from his perspective and the Giants. So the standards, we've heard about it for 2 years at Melbourne, not there. The culture's not there. I can tell you right now, the standards and the culture at the Giants is as high as you'll get. Adam Kingsley has got that running a really well-oiled machine right there. And you said Stringer before, prime example. Getting your players right, you work hard, no excuses, new environment, up in Sydney, New South Wales. You're away from, all the spotlight of Melbourne. We know what a fishbowl that is. I think could be the bargain of the last 10 years.
It's a big call. What's the latest on Jamara Ugle-Hagan?
Yeah, we know that he was up on the Gold Coast today undergoing that medical. We're expecting that to go through okay. Quite interesting. We're looking at a conclusion early next week. I don't think it'll happen in the next day or so.
How do they support him?
Because that's the key.
It's been a troubled year for Jamara. How do they make sure that this move is a winner, Macca?
Well, they've done a lot of work on this already. This has been going on for quite some time. He'll end up living with Jared Harbrow, who's former club great and runs the Indigenous program there. He's an outstanding person, Jared, and he'll live with him and spend a lot of time with him. This has been a whole club approach, a whole club exercise, including the leadership group. They've been brought along through this whole process, including the senior Indigenous players. I'm told Dan Rioli had a fair bit to do with this as well. The board's been briefed all the way through. It's got to go to the board, but they have been briefed through this as well. As you broke the story the other day about the highly incentivised sort of contract, they're going to put a lot of people around him, a lot of support around him. Getting out of Melbourne again, you're talking about Clary getting a new environment. I think that's why this will be really good for Jamara.
I think it'll be amazing. Dimmer's a genius. Make no mistake about putting the right people and support around him, housing them with the right, leadership qualities and one thing I want to say about Jamara, going up there, I love a second chance. I love the fact, he's going to leave the Bulldogs, go up there, fresh start. What really worries me, though, is, they're a young, inspiring group. Jed Walter, I'm going to bring him to the table on this discussion because if I was Jed Walter right now, I got knocked out of that team late in the season, didn't play finals. Ethan Reid goes ahead of me. King's in the forward line. His anklet goes off when he leaves the 50, so he's staying there, right? So he's an inside 50 forward. Jed Walter cannot get back into that team. You throw Jamara into that mix, I'm sorry to say, he's going to be the sideshow Bob out the back, going around the country in the suburbs.
He takes Walter's spot, you reckon? That compromises his future at the footy club?
Compromises his future massively. You've got to look at it in layman's terms and say, right, what's Jed Walter? He's a key forward. And Ethan Reid's a key forward. Ben King is key forward. Jamara, I don't care what anyone says. You can call him hybrid half forward. He is a key forward.
Because this is what Craig Cameron said, as recently as today on radio. He says that he thinks that they can all coexist in the same forward line. He can play with their existing key forwards. He's not a legitimate key position player. He's got high half forward IQ, high footy IQ. Do you think that's just a bit of window dressing?
Absolutely. That's as good a mayo and sugar as you'll put on anything. He's not going to be a high half forward, hybrid winger. He's not going to be any of that. He's going to be your key forward there that's going to dominate. And as I said, King is your anchor. So the next person to step up is Jamara.
Around $2 billion will be splashed on upgrading the Melbourne Cricket Ground. The MCG looking to make changes without losing any of their marquee sporting events. Jack Nyhoff has more.
It's set to lift the MCG from the world's 11th largest stadium to the 5th. There's a $2 billion price tag for the redevelopment of the Shane Warne stand, and this is what it'll pay for. These are the early concept illustrations. Inside the venue, an extra 5,000 seats will be added to boost the capacity to 105,000 fans. A new 2,000 capacity pub-style eatery for pre-game entertainment will be installed, and the new stand will also provide 180-degree views of Yarra Park, creating an outward-facing tourism offering. Construction won't start until 2030 and will be staggered to allow the stadium to continue to be used, and will take around 3 years to finish.
It's a huge and important venue for our city and state. It's the heart of our sporting and major events. But we also know that we need to plan for the future of the stadium to ensure that it continues to provide a great experience for spectators.
The venue must keep a minimum of 70,000 seats to ensure the AFL Grand Final stays in Victoria. The cost of the redevelopment will reportedly be shared between several stakeholders, including the MCG and the state government. Although it's anticipated Victorian taxpayers will be paying around half that cost, approximately $1 billion.